Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to detail the story of an innocent victim named Shamil Pierce. Oakland has been known for many things, from sports teams like the Raiders and the A's to the Black Panthers, and many rappers who put on for the city with people like Too Short and MC Hammer, and also a long list of others. But also, they're known for a heavy influential culture. But even with the positives, there are going to be some negatives. And Oakland has always been known in the media for a lot of negative things. For the negative perspective they gave the Black Panthers, deeming them a criminal organization instead of a political party, and with the fall of their organization, breeding the Oakland we know today. And with the Black Panthers gone, by the 80s, Oakland would change. Oakland became known for its pimp culture in the world, and also its high crime rate. And by the 80s, Oakland would be like the Wild Wild West, with several crews going to war over the booming drug trade, causing multiple bodies to drop all over the city from the three major crime-ridden sides of Oakland, being North, East, and West Oakland. In the 80s on up, Oakland would be one of the deadliest cities in California, and even America, always ranking high in the murder per capita rankings. Now, this story takes place in West Oakland. West Oakland has been known for being an area having strong African-American roots, and at a point, it earned the nickname Harlem of the West, which West Oakland gained that name back in the day for many well-known artists coming here and performing, like Aretha Franklin and Billie Holiday. And later, the Black Panther Party set up headquarters there, and despite this history though, the neighborhood had hard times, and gangs and drugs infested many projects and streets of West Oakland. This created several warring crews, leading to many deaths from gang members and to even many innocent people. And that leads us to March 9th, 2015, on the 2800 block of Chestnut Street, about 4:45 p.m. A group of females would get into an altercation and a fight, which led to a man from Dogtown and affiliated with Third World, who you may know because of rapper Little Blood. Jerry Harbin would jump into the woman's fight and push the 39-year-old woman named Janaria to the ground, interjecting himself into the woman's fight. Janaria was angry that Jerry had pushed her down, so Janaria would call her 23-year-old son, named Dejan, and ask him to come, and he would bring several others to the scene to back her up. Dejan and his crew was from an area in West Oakland called the Bottoms. The two West Oakland groups would collide, with the Dogtown side having Jerry and his homies, which included Sheldon, Alex, and Michael, and Dejan and his associates from another West Oakland group, as I said before, known as the Bottoms, which included Anthony and Julian. The two groups would get into an altercation, which would lead to a crazy shootout, with over 100 shots fired, leaving many people outside in the crossfire. Shamil Pierce, a 30-year-old woman who worked as a human resource specialist at Kaiser Hospital, was a mother of 3 and just arrived home. She just picked up 2 of her 3 children from a charter school that was located in the area. Unfortunately, Shamil would arrive during the shootout. She was struck by a stray bullet that struck her in the back of the head as she arrived home. Shamil was found shielding her 2 young kids from the bullets as she was shot in the head. Other people would be shot in the shooting as well, but Shamil lost her life, trying to make sure her kids were safe, and this caused outrage in the community, with an innocent mother losing her life for just arriving home during a pointless shootout, making her lose her life in front of her kids.
The victim on Monday was shot and killed while she was trying to protect her children as gunfire erupted on her street in West Oakland. She worked at Kaiser, and her friends say that she'd been saving money to try and move out of the neighborhood because she was concerned about the growing problem with violence there. Crown 4's Charles Clifford talked to people who live in that neighborhood upset about what happened. He's live tonight in Oakland. Charles.
Well, this has been a very emotional week, not only for the family and friends of Shamil Pierce, but also for the community. And today in West Oakland, neighbors were reacting to news that someone has been arrested for her murder.
We don't understand what happened to the beautiful young lady, Lord.
In West Oakland Thursday afternoon, neighbors visited the spot where 30-year-old Shamil Pierce died on Monday.
And we're trusting you, Father, to take care of her children.
This tragedy, a young mother killed while protecting her children, has hit the neighborhood hard.
It's a tragedy.
I was devastated. I was devastated because my family has been affected by the violence. Several years ago, we lost my 22-year-old nephew, and it affects the family. It hurts.
Everyone involved would later be arrested by 2019. Jerry would be said to be the cause of the situation by jumping in a woman's fight, but it was believed that Alex, single-handedly, was most responsible for Shamil's death. Alex ran down the street and chased people down. It appeared he was the one who fired the single bullet that struck Shamil in the back of the head, and that bullet killed her. Janaria, who this all started from, with her phone call to her son, had a plea agreement for her second-degree murder conviction to be reduced to voluntary manslaughter, and for her to be sentenced to 6 years of custody.
A small amount of closure tonight for the family of an Oakland woman. One man is sentenced in the gun battle that claimed her life. Shamil Pierce was just 30 when she was gunned down near her home in 2015. Good evening, I'm Dan Ashley.
And I'm Kristen Z. Thanks for joining us. An Oakland man has been sentenced to prison for his role in the murder of the young mother. She was killed trying to shield her kids during a gunfight.
Yeah, the man sentenced today is just one of 8 people initially arrested in the case. ABC 7 News reporter Laura Anthony has the story.
This is a lose-lose situation for everybody.
For one West Oakland family, it's just another difficult chapter in a nightmare that began 2 years ago when they lost Shamil Pierce, a young mother trying to shield her children from a hail of bullets.
The neighborhood she grew up in an ideal world, it's where you should feel the most safe, right? And all she's doing is taking her kids into her house when she realizes something's happening.
In March 2015, the 30-year-old Pierce was near her West Oakland home with 2 of her 3 children when a gun battle broke out between 2 groups of men. Pierce died trying to shield her kids. 32-year-old Jerry Harbin becomes the 4th man sentenced in Pierce's death. Harbin pleaded no contest to voluntary manslaughter and was sentenced to 13 years in prison. At the sentencing, the prosecutor read a statement from Pierce's fiancee, quote, "Words cannot express the pain this has caused our family. Shamil wasn't in the wrong place at the wrong time. She was in her own neighborhood, in front of her own home." Later, the defendant Harbin turned and spoke directly to the victim's family. "I apologize for everything that happened. If you all hate me, I understand. But I love you all, and I hope you can find some peace."
Even early on of the situation, that is, the killing of Ms. Pierce, Mr. Harbin had written a letter to the family expressing his condolences.
Pierce's family declined comment outside of court. 3 other men have been convicted of second-degree murder in Pierce's death. 2 more, including a juvenile, have yet to stand trial. In Oakland, Laura Anthony.
Later, everyone involved will be sentenced. Julian will receive 15 years to life. Shelton received 40 years to life. Anthony was sentenced to 15 years to life. Alex, Shamil's believed killer, received 40 years to life. And Michael was sentenced to 16 years to life. Janaria's son Dejan pleaded no contest to a felony count of being an accessory after the fact for hiding the gun that one of the suspects used in the shooting. He was placed on 5 years probation. And lastly, Jerry would receive 13 years, which he later issued an apology letter to Shamil's family. This shooting got 6 men and 1 woman charged, receiving probation to life sentences. Shamil lost her life at only 30 years old, trying to protect her kids. RIP to her. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.